Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of our student athlete interview. I'm Katie, one of the interns here this summer. This series kind of just shows the lives of different athletes in various sports at all levels and all sports. So our guest today is Ellen Holmquist. She is a rising sophomore and she swims at the University of Pennsylvania. Hi Ellen, how are you?
Yeah, no, of
Good. Thank you so much for coming on today.
course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we'll get right into it. Just tell us a little bit about when you started swimming and why you started swimming.
So I started when I was 6, and so I have a long history of swimming in my family. My grandfather swam, my dad swam, and my 2 older siblings also swam. So kind of was
Yeah.
necessary for me.
In the family, yeah, for sure. And then since you started from such a young age, did you look up to any role models or favorite like swimmers, even throughout your whole time swimming?
So my 2 older siblings were definitely huge role models for me. They're 6 years older than me and 5 years older than me. So they had they had a lot to look up to when I was younger, and then I always adored Franklin when I was a kid.
Yeah, for sure. So you started at a young age, but when did you know that like swimming's my thing? Like this is what I want to do in college. When did that kind of hit for you?
So I played a lot of sports up until like 8th grade, and once I saw my brother go through the whole recruiting process and the things that he accomplished, I wanted to reach those goals myself. So I quit all the other sports and I stuck with swimming.
Yeah, awesome. So, what was your recruiting process like once you started? Like, once you knew, okay, this is what I wanted to do, what was that recruiting process like? And then go into a little bit about what it was like specifically at Penn.
So it was a little different. My year, we swimming usually does recruiting your senior year of high school, but my year was the first year you could do it junior year. So I started talking to schools at the beginning of junior year in September, and then I started taking trips in April. And for Penn, I remember I took one of my trips, and it was definitely different than some of the trips that I heard back in prior years. But it was so much fun meeting everyone on the team. And I remember on the trip, like I just fell in love with the team and the school itself. But at Penn, we had um, they did the recruiting in April, and then I committed in May. So it was
Okay.
after, but.
Yeah. So, you went into it a little bit, but what made you choose Penn as opposed to like these other schools that you went on trips on also?
So I really, really liked the combination. Like I really liked how the Ivy League has it set up with athletics, how it's a good balance of academics and athletics. So I'm not fully committed all year round to swimming. I could still take some time to really focus in on my school. And then again, on my trip, I just loved the whole team. I loved how close the men's and women's team were. And I really just enjoyed like the whole camaraderie.
Yeah, for sure. So after having your freshman year, what would you say the biggest change was from high school to college, both like academically in the classroom and then also like while you're swimming, like with the team?
Academic wise, I would say it's definitely a struggle between balancing all your classes because a lot of in high school they give you like a set date, like this is your homework, this is when you get it done. In college, like they give you a little bit of leeway with that, so you definitely have to balance. Time management is huge, especially when you practice that certain day.
Yeah,
Um,
for
this year with COVID, obviously, it was different, but and then I feel like my the biggest difference between like club swimming and college swimming now, I feel like it was just like the team atmosphere, just because everyone around you chose that school for a certain reason, so you all just love being together and doing what you love.
for sure. And you went into it a little bit, but what would you say were some tips or some things that helped you balance between your academics and then also having swim practice?
I'm huge into writing post-it notes.
Yeah,
My at school was covered in post-it notes, what I had to do during the day and what I had to do during the week. And throughout the week, I'd just be able to cross off, make a new one every day, or sometimes make it the night before. It would just keep me like in order and help me organize. And then I definitely use my calendar, like on my computer or something, to keep me on track of what I have to do throughout the day.
yeah, for sure. So you had COVID as a freshman and like your whole freshman year. How did that affect you, like coming onto campus, not really knowing anyone? And then also, like, did it affect you while you were swimming?
Yeah, so in the fall, we didn't have any athletics at all. We had an occasional Zoom meeting, but in the spring, it was really nice to be able to get back into swimming. It was definitely different since we weren't allowed to start on the same sides or like be on the same wall as anyone else. So that kind of changed it up a little bit since swimming you can't really talk to people. The best part of it is like sitting on the wall and being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
But it was still nice being able to get in the water. I'm very excited for full competition in the fall.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so then going into, what do you think your greatest accomplishment would be as a swimmer, as an athlete?
I think my greatest accomplishment was it was the summer going into my senior year, and we had a relay, and we were seated, I think, like fourth or fifth, but we really thought we could win the entire event, and we had the lead, and it like I already swam, but we all swam like best times each of us, and the last girl was swimming, and we won by 9/100ths of a second, and we got
Oh,
like
wow.
the standard, we got the title. It was such a fun day.
That's awesome. And then to wrap up, do you have any advice for like student athletes that are maybe in the recruiting process that would like to maybe swim in college? Like, what are your tips for them going through that in high school right now?
I say definitely keep your options open. It was really important during my recruiting process that I looked at places that I wouldn't think I would have looked at before, just because it helped me not only just talk to other coaches, get to know them, but also narrow in on what schools I really did like. And then obviously dedication is huge. You have to go to the practices, do the work, definitely do really good in school, keep your grades up. But
For sure.
if you really want it, you got to work for it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah,
Have a good rest of your day.
you too.
Bye.